everyone. Good evening. A very warm welcome to yet another edition of the Collegey webinars. This is our fourth webinar in a series of very interesting conversations that we are having over the last few weeks. I think this is the most exciting and interesting conversation that we are going to have. And I say exciting and interesting because there has been always ask this question about Collegey. TGEP, when are the applications going live? What is the experience like? How do I ensure that I get into this famous bus that Syed has shown us here? And I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of friends that I had, had an opportunity to visit in their institutions or host at my previous universities that I used to work at. So TGEP as an experience. And when I was thinking of how do we start this conversation, I was talking to the founders of Collegey and I said, how do you want to start this conversation? And they said, we want to make this conversation as fun, as organic. We don't want to sell TGEP, but we want our people that have been a part of this amazing experience to organically talk about their experiences. So all the participants in our conversation today, who will be sharing are ex-TGP alums who have been a part of this experience over the last few years, and now they are here with us. We have with us Shraddha Chauhan from Mayo College, Ajmer. We have Nasreen, who is joining us from Turkey, and we will be shortly joined by Shilpa from Japan, and then we will have Nikita joining in from Mumbai. And we'll have this very intimate, as we are known for. These conversations are very conversational, engaging, two-way. It's not a selling pitch for us from TGEP, which is more like helping more and more counselors become aware about the TGEP and helping you understand what is the selection process like, what is the experience like, and no other person can talk about this than the people who have been a part of this experience already. So let's start with this photograph that I see here. And I can see that Shraddha and Nasreen were part of this bus. I don't see Shraddha in this photograph, but I'm sure Shraddha was, if not clicking the photograph, at the back of this bus somewhere. But Shraddha, so welcome. If you and then probably Nasreen can talk about this bus.
Yes, hello. This bus, yes. So the TGP, so what should I start with? The application process you would like me to start with?
You should start with, let's not do this. Let's not go to the bus directly. I get that.
Yeah, I think
let's start with what made you apply for the TGEP cohort? What was your driving factors to say, okay, I want to be part of TGEP, I want to do this. And as glamorous as it may look, Syed informed us last time around the story of the bus and how it was a lot of travel and how you missed your flight, and it was still you had very high energy, and you said, okay, let's make the most of the opportunity that we have. So first, let's answer this question: what made you apply to TGEP?
So I would say it was Suchita, because I have met her over the years, and so they asked me, that if I would like to apply, and of course, so because knowing her, I thought, okay, I should apply and visit US, and I really didn't know much. This was my first US visit, in fact. So the application process was, of course, very simple. You fill the form, but then you have lots of rounds of interview, should I say, or group discussions, which were very non-formal and interesting. But yes, the whole process was very interesting, I would say, very different from the others. And in no way, of course, I thought that I was selected from the first step itself just by filling the form I was in. No, that was not the case. So you had to wait and know that, okay, whether you are selected or not. And when I got to know that I was selected for the TGEP cohort this year, and I was very, very super excited. And the whole trip, I think I'll talk later on what the whole trip was all about. Nasreen, I think she should.
Okay.
Yeah, Nasreen should share as well.
Yeah.
Nasreen.
one of my Turkish counselors who was working in Dubai wasn't able to participate. So she asked me to participate. So I had I fill in the application and I had an interview with Syed. And, I thought it was really interesting because I have visited a lot of universities. As you can see, I'm very young. And, so maybe more than 500 universities, and they were all, the universities in the cities, the top ranked universities. This seemed very interesting because we were going to visit the state universities and also the liberal arts colleges, which really interested me a lot. So I just said, it would be a great opportunity for me. So that's why, and it was a great opportunity. Really, it was. So thanks to all of you, to Syed and Suchita. That was really great because it is the great experience I ever had. So, well, I will tell about other things later. Okay, this is how I applied to this program.
Thank you so much for sharing this scene. This is amazing serendipity. One of your friends referred you to this program, and then you had this wonderful experience. So, I mean, I will now go to the founders, and having shared your experience, I think it's prudent that we talk to both the co-founders here on what was the idea behind starting the TGEP program. What was the thought process like? How many years it has been running? And what is it that they want to achieve through putting in so much efforts and giving exposure to so many wonderful people, colleagues from around the world. So Syed, we can start with you. If you can talk about, what was the thought behind TGEP? What is the experience like from a founder's perspective?
Sure, I'm good. Thank you. Well, the purpose is very simple. I think people who have certain experiences, who go out there and do things, and when they talk differently. They have more conviction, they have more clarity, they're more authentic people. And I found this when I was working with Education USA. I met a lot of counselors, and there was a stark difference between counselors who have traveled generally in their life, traveled around, their travelers, and those who have visited universities and have gone to cities and have tried to understand cities in America and Europe, Canada, and the way they counsel their students, the realities that they brought into their counseling, and the conviction was very different. Just when they were in the room, you could tell these people are speaking from experience. They are not, producing paragraphs of the book that they have recently read. They're not quoting from some white paper that they read. And I think for counseling, it's very important. The conviction of the counselors is very, very important. Their own experiences and their own confidence in what they're talking about is important. That was when the decision was made. I could look at the different. I mean, this is so amazing. Why don't we start something like this? This was, I believe, in 2016. In 2014, I left Education USA. I met a lot of counselors, but the thought process started back then. But we started our first cohort. You can see the poster behind me, that poster there. We framed it. We are very conservative in framing things, but that was the one we framed. That was the first one in 2018. And 2018 started off with the school directors and principals. We thought it might be a good idea. I don't know why we thought that. We thought it might be a good idea to have principals and counselors and directors all together. It didn't work out very well logistically. I think the things that directors and principals and administrators are looking for is very different than what counselors need. So from 2019 onwards, we separated it. So 2019 onwards, we only had counselors. But really that was the purpose. We really wanted counselors to have the experiences of the work that they are talking with students, with their families. And we thought, what better than just bring them over and travel with them, help them know each other, and build a global community so that they can all get to know each other and meet each other and learn from each other, and at the same time be able to speak with confidence and experience.
Amazing. Thank you, Syed. May I request here people can mute themselves when they're not speaking. Thank you, Syed. I mean, 2014, that is way back. I thought it was more like 4 or 5 years back. So that is interesting.
No, so 2014 is when I left Education USA. I was with Education USA for 3 years between 2011 and 14. And at this time, I met a lot of counselors. And there were so many meetings in one room with lots of counselors. And I can't remember a meeting where the difference between counselors who have traveled and who are speaking and including their own experiences and their advising and those who were not, the difference was so stark. It was so clear that, look, this is important. This is how they are talking. They're purely speaking from their own experiences. So that was when the idea came to mind in 2014, I thought, but we, kind of formalized things in 2016 or 17 and 18, we launched.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Suchita, yeah, your
May I say
perspective on
one thing?
TGEP.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Syed,
Jasmine, go
for
ahead.
okay. Thank you, Syed, for organizing this and thinking of this idea and just following all through the years. This is really great.
Glad we started it, and now we have Shilpa here also, Ankur. I see Shilpa has just joined in.
And
welcome, Shilpa.
I just want to
How are
add.
you?
Hi.
Yeah, Suchita, we can go to you and then we'll go to Shilpa.
Yeah, so I just want to add that, of course, everything that Syed has said, but, also importantly, how we wanted to structure TGEP was really not focus on the typical campuses that people go to and not focus on just campus visits. It was we really wanted the counselors to engage on campus as well as off it, so that they could really take a very lived experience back to their students and to their parents, because to be able to say, I have been on this particular campus, your child is someone who will thrive in this particular environment because it isn't a noisy, bustling city, and your child is somebody who may thrive better in a quieter environment. I think even this time when we went, there were some colleges that one would never have even heard of before they landed there, and we had some counselors say, I know exactly the kind of child who would fit into this scenario. So, to be able to give them those opportunities that lie beyond the typical ones that everyone signs up to, that was also the thought beyond TGEP, behind TGEP, so that in a classroom of say 20 students, you're not just focusing on those 3 or 4 who are going to make it to those top universities, but you're thinking of the entire classroom and thinking of the needs and requirements of each of those children sitting in the classroom. And so at the end of everything that we do lies student success. And that's one of the major reasons for starting TGEP.
I think that's also necessary. I mean, especially in we are. I mean, I'm sitting in India where we are also focused on turning out students for IITs and medical entrance examinations, and we have a lot of. And I think this same story goes around the world, where the focus remains on the brightest of the brightest kids, but the kids that are not amongst the top 10% of the class feel left out from the attention that is required for them. So thank you so much, Suchita, for sharing that context of the vision behind TGEP. That's very, very noble. So we have Shilpa here. Shilpa, welcome to the conversation. We just are taking the initial remarks from your fellow colleagues on the TGEP bus. We'll love to hear from you, your initial remarks on the TGEP experience. Any comments that you want to start with?
I just want to say that I've been a part of TGEP for the last 3 years now. So I've got a lifetime achievement award.
Amazing.
Yeah. Just the fact that I'm doing it every year. Just the fact that I'm doing it every year, I think you don't need any more, explanation beyond that, right? If it wasn't good, I would not have done it the second time and the third time. So I think that says it all. So, and
So it's
completely
like,
agree. Yeah.
so you've been doing it for 3 years. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I think I really want to echo what Suchita said about going to non-traditional universities. You know, there are these gems in the United States that a lot of us don't even hear about. And just to go and see them and see the strength of the programs they offer, I don't think I would have trusted to send any of my children to those universities if I personally wouldn't have gone and seen those schools. So I think that trust that comes with going and visiting is just amazing.
Amazing. I think that is also a very, very important insight. I mean, I've not been on the TGEP tour ever, but so the bit that I have traveled around and I have seen when I've traveled to Canada, I've traveled to US, and I've seen those universities in flesh and blood, and I've met somebody there from let's say India or from Nepal or Bangladesh, and I've seen talking to them, those informal conversations say a lot about that place and teaches us a lot. So I think, again, Shilpa, thank you for bringing in that context to this conversation. That is very, very important for our counselors. And I think maximum counselors who can benefit from this experience will be a changed personality before TGP and after TGP. Thank you so much, Shilpa, for sharing that. So now I think a lot of us that we know the TGP applications are now live. We are already talking about it on our social media channels, in our WhatsApp groups. Many counselors have reached out to the founders or to me on, can we apply? What is the eligibility criteria? What is that selection process like? When do we hear? What are the timelines? I mean, somebody should talk about the selection process, right? This is the most important question. How do we get on the TGEP cohort? So, Syed, what is the secret sauce of getting into TGEP?
There is no secret sauce. A very straightforward process. By the way, we also have Hira and Tram who could speak. Tram was on the cohort in 2023. Hira is from Nepal. She was in the. They both can share their experiences as well, both of the application and also of the road. But application very straightforward. There's a written application. The link I'll post it in the chat. Apply. It asks you some straightforward questions. After that, if we shortlist you, we'll ask you to send a recommendation from your supervisor to approve that if you are finally selected, you will be able to represent your school. This program is for you to officially represent your school. So this is also a way for you to talk about your school, advocate about your school, and let everybody know what your school is all about. And then there is, after that, we do a very informal interview, and Sreen was saying it's a behavioral interview in which we give you a few simple, straightforward situations. What will you do if this happens? What will you do if that happens? And you respond to that. And then finally, we do a group discussion in which a few people, different kind of counselors will come together and they'll discuss one specific topic. All I can say is that everything is informal. Everything is very straightforward. Nothing is like formally structured in this. For one simple reason that formalities have no place in this kind of a program. We are formal only for the first hour of meeting. After that, we just become friends and families, and we just are there to support each other, help each other, look out for each other, not just during the tour, but also after the tour. So I really encourage you, go ahead and apply and be your authentic self, fill out the application. I do want to clarify a few things about this program. Again, it's pretty straightforward, but the program, the program is funded by universities. They are the ones who we are partnering, and then we use that fund to bring you on board. Why are they funding a program like this? You have to, get the first principles right. If you are a school and your students are not interested in studying in the US, or if you're a counselor who are not involved in international education so much, you might personally want to come to US and travel, but this program will not be able to fund you. This is a professional program which is meant for people who are involved in this field. And this is a large field, very big field. For this TGEP, we are focusing on US. So if you do not demonstrate that interest in US, or your student communities are not interested in US, and there is no evidence of that, this program may not be a good fit for you. It does not mean that you personally are, rejected. I hear a lot from counselors who say, oh, you're rejected. There's no rejection, acceptance here. We're just looking for a good fit. Many counselors have written to me and said, I don't have students who have gone to US. We don't have a very robust study abroad, but I would still like to go. And it becomes very hard for me to say that as much as we would love to have everybody come with us, we are limited by resources and by our partners. If you're not a good fit, if you have no demonstrated interest in your student communities, have not demonstrated interest in studying in the US, this is not the best fit for you. I mean, what's the point? You're going to spend all this time and learn things that you're not able to apply.
Thank you for doing that, and and shooting those straight arrows, because that is the question that was on my mind also. Because who is it for, this program, and who should apply? And that's the major question that everybody. Suchita, you want to add something to what Syed was saying?
Actually, I wanted to, just add to what Syed said. It sort of reflects disappointment of some people who may not be selected. Sometimes it's not even that, you're not eligible. Your school may show that demonstrated interest, and the counselor themselves, they might be a really good fit, but at the same time we are limited by the number of people we can take with us. We get 400 to 600 applications, and we are selecting 10 to 15 people from there. I cannot take 5 people from Bangalore or 10 people from Jaipur. I have to cut it down. And I know that this is not the only cohort that I'm going to take. I know that this is something that, is going to repeat year after year, and maybe more often in a year. So, one just has to be assured that they personally are not being rejected. It is the limitations of the program that may select one over the other. Just wanted to add that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for doing that.
Can I say something here?
Yeah,
Okay,
Nasreen,
about
go
the
ahead.
selection. Okay. Why do you select all these people, all these counselors full of wisdom, love of work, and really patient, come with all confidence and all funny and love to, loving and, everything. So why do you select these kind of counselors, my dear?
I want to answer something there, and I think
Yeah.
I want to pick on this answer. So it is very important for us to see what kind of camaraderie and what kind of contribution a person would bring to a group, right? You need to, like I said, I think even in the previous conversation that we had a few days ago, that the TGEP doesn't end with the program. It continues.
Yeah.
So it is something, it is something where you continue to collaborate on. You continue to support each other. You continue to support everyone within the group and beyond. You're part of the alum group now, and everybody is sort of, pitching in over there. And, when people first come on board, sometimes even we, even though we've had these informal conversations and we've judged some part of what their behavior may be, there is still a lot to learn about each other when you're on the road with each other. There is no better way to know a person than being on the road with them, right?
Yeah.
And when you actually get together, you realize that people have different personalities. Ando, you can jump in here. You remember how quiet you were initially, right? And you mentioned this about your own experience, about how nervous you were, and how So when Nesreen talks about everybody being fun-loving and, dancing around and everything, I think it took a while for Ando to come up and dance, right? So do you want to just talk a little bit about this and, maybe say when you started, how you felt and how you felt towards the end of it?
I can tell that up to now, I still cannot believe that it really happened. Like sometimes I sit in the office, I keep asking myself, does it happen or it's just a dream? Because the trip came to me as a gift, and I really appreciate the chance that I go on with the team. I feel like I be presented every single seconds of the trips. I can tell the trip leave me more passion to carry on with the career path, and it proved that I'm going on the right decision for my life. So once again, thank you to Syed and Shuchita and the team that I have been spend the summer with you guys. The summer is short, but it's worth it. Okay, so regarding the trip, I had shared with the team that I apply being very excited when I heard that I'm in. Have no idea about what will the trip to the US will be look like. Because to many Vietnamese people, America is a dream and it's not easy to get a visa. And all the process that I have been through is quite smoothly with a lot of bless and a lot of support. Then I arrived the US and still have no idea about what's going on in the trip or how the trip will look like. The moment I sit on the plane from Vietnam to Japan, I keep asking myself that did I do the right thing? What am I doing? What's the hell I'm going to? Because this is the first flight ever I took by myself, and there's no one in the cohort that I know them before. So how do I share a room? How do I share with everybody on the bus that I have no idea who are they and where they're from and all the things? But then day by day with all the dancing, chatting, supporting, and I feel like, oh, I belong to this group more than I thought about it, more than I expected. And I started to feel that that's space for me to be safe, to be myself, that people still care of me, and I had a lot of chance to ask questions, some very smart and some very dumb or some very silly, but that's a safe space for you to share not only the knowledge about your career, but also the other part to learn about from every single member that from the trip. So at the end of the trip, I feel really appreciated because I learned a lot from many skills for my life, like packing. How do you packing? How do you travel around with just one carry-on? How much swag should you take from the universities? Although they are all attractive and wonderful, but be aware of how many spaces you have left. Up to many big lessons like how does a university look like, how to support your student when they arrive there, what type of university that will suit your student, and of course the name of the building is just the first part of the story. The children will write their own story, and as long as they find the best fit for themselves, they will write a novel, like the bestseller novel ever. And the name of the building is just the name of the building. And the I Village just because they have ivy inside the campus, nothing else. Okay, so after the trip, I feel more confident to talk to my kids now. I was very proud to say, oh, I already go to that campus. I know about that place. I go to that city. And I had a lot of confidence sharing with parents in my career path with my students. And as well that I know how to support the student to find their best fit for their future, for them after high school education. So I think that's a really amazing trip. So if I have a chance, I'll say all of the counselors come and apply and take a chance to join the trip, because not only the thing you bring back will not just only for your students and parents, but for yourself as well. And learning is a long life action. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Ando.
much.
That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. The name of the building is just the starting of the story. So Nesreen, you know, that was the answer to your question, that we don't really choose the loving, fun-loving, etc. group. You guys make it what it is. That's the answer to your question.
Yes. Yes, they're all, you know, maybe they're loving, full of fun, but they're also with wisdom, and, you know, they are really good for, they know the diversity, because it's so really, I mean, it's so hard to get together with the people from all countries around. But I mean, I have been to this fly-ins a lot of time, but this was the first time I really felt that I am in the group. I felt that, you know, we were together, we are bound together. So that was really the best part. So when you are together, you learn more. And you acquire more, you get more, and you success more. So, I mean, I am really, really fond of this event, this organization. So thanks to all of you.
Thank you so much. I mean, I think this is the right cue for us also to talk about what does a day in a TGEP program look like? When do you start, and when do you, if you ever end a day and you just continue to be on the roll? So I think one of the counselors should share that. What is the day at TGEP? And if not more than one, couple of you should share about, you know, what is it that you can expect if you are a part of TGEP cohort?
Ankur,
Shraddha,
it's not a day.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
2 weeks of TGEP. It's not a day.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't think about it as how does a day look like, because different days look different, and it's just a full experience.
Yeah. So
I think, you know,
I
Ankur,
want you to share about your experience.
why don't I, Ankur,
So that-
share some of the pictures, and then Shilpa, Hira, Tram, and Shraddha, they can all talk about what is happening in those pictures. Will that be a good idea?
Gosh, I hope you don't put us censored pictures.
And also in those pictures,
I'm sure there'll be some of those.
you know, by the way, as you can see, some of our counselors are very, you know, they're very conscious of how they are seen in the picture. So I would, one of the things that I'm noticing is that we need people who don't really care how they look in the picture. So if you're a little thick-skinned, please apply. We're looking for thick-skinned people. So anyway, let me just quickly share some of the pictures, and then quickly, you know, just see them, and then we'll come back and discuss. Can you confirm if you're able to see the pictures, and are they changing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes, they're
Did the
visible.
picture, did the picture change?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here you can see the modeling instincts are right here.
God. This is still a decent
I want
picture.
to talk about this picture.
Suchita loves eating.
You know, I am
Suchita
not
always
very,
eating.
I'm not very fond of these mock classes, you know. I don't have ability to do some things. So here you want me to do a bag and, you know, create something. So that's not good, my dear.
I know. Well, then that was just one of the days. You have to do things that you don't like. That's part of the learning. Next day you will have stuff that you like. So anyway, I'm
Yes,
just quickly,
let's
I'm going to
do.
scan through these pictures, and then I'll stop sharing it. We'll then talk about different things we do. All the counselors can talk here.
Yeah,
Just to
and
give
a
you,
little bit about the pictures. You can see that, you know, there are sessions. There was this one place where we were in a class where they were recycling bags and
Yeah.
you know, recycling T-shirts into bags. So counselors are doing a workshop over here, which is the one that Christine says she was not good at. We were very proud of the bags we made.
these
so
are the bags. These are the models of the bags.
Oh yeah,
and
the
bag they
models are
made.
carrying the
That's what they're
bags.
modeling.
Absolutely.
They-
Yes.
So this was part of the, I think it was called the Civic Engagement and Sustainability Center at Buffalo
Yeah.
State, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
It was Buffalo
right,
State,
Shilpa,
yeah.
and we got in, and they
Yes.
wanted to tell us many things on sustainability. And one of the things they were doing is that they were recycling these, what was the program called? Rags to bags, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
Yeah.
it? So, you know, these were some, they had a whole bunch of t-shirts that they would have otherwise thrown, but they were saying, no, we are recycling them into bags. And these were we cut it and made it into bags. So this bags that Shilpa and Nitika are modeling is what they made themselves. So they're here making the bag. So yeah, this is a little bit workshop oriented. Now somebody should talk about this. I mean, we can't miss the food part here, but this is also not, it's not just people eating food. It's more than that.
Yeah, I think we all made these pizzas.
Yeah, and
So
that's
it
one
was
of the
it was a
students,
culinary,
right?
yeah. It was a culinary workshop that we did at one of the culinary schools.
Hmm. Yeah, and this gentleman, as you can see, he was a student. I think by the time we met him, he had finished his academic program at least. But he's from India, and he was sharing his experiences of meeting the chef and how he built his relationship and how it helped him do what he was doing. So he basically organized the entire thing for us. What is this?
Niagara Falls.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, so we went to Niagara Falls. This was again, we were in Buffalo State, not too far from, Niagara Falls. So that was another small visit we quickly made. Yeah, so this was their science complex.
Shraddha will talk about this. Shraddha, you want to talk about the Collegey
For
banner?
the banner, yes. I was in charge of the Collegey banner at every university college. We had this picture taken with the banner, and it was fun, every time we were at any place, and I would be like, yes, let's get a picture with a banner. And yeah.
So
So
whenever
we had it at every
whenever there was a nice view, all eyes would go on Shraddha.
Yeah,
And Shraddha
there's
is
a
like,
banner.
why is everybody looking at me? And then we say banner. And then after a few stares, she got used to it. Well, this was a slightly different format. As you can see, this looks very formal, and it was very formal. I think, what is it? Alfred State?
Alfred
Yeah, I think it was SUNY
Alfred State, yes.
SUNY
Yes.
Alfred State, yeah. Very small town. Alfred, I think, was less than 2,000 people. And this is when we just walked in and they brought everybody together. We are just getting ready to meet with them. Then this is just looking around the buildings, inside. This, I think, is also Alfred State, and we went to one of their labs. And they basically demonstrated their robots and what kind of hardware they have and all that. Anyone wants to talk about this? I think this is at Rutgers.
I think this was the conclave. Yeah.
So why don't you talk about conclave? Somebody should talk about what conclave is as a format.
Yeah, so
this,
basically,
yeah,
go ahead, Anne.
sorry.
No, go ahead, Anne.
So
Go ahead.
this is the group of universities, and the table on the left with on the left of the pictures is the reps, and they gather together, and we kind of has the mini, look like the mini fair. So it's a chance for us to meet many schools at one place and one short period of time. The thing I remember about this university is when we're about to leave, and they offer a quick school tour. So we have 7-minute school tour, and I will be running to learning about the school. We're running around the school in 7 minutes, and Shuchita keep hurry up, we're not late for the next destination. So everybody look quite hurry in the pictures, but that's good. That's I take advantages of meeting the group together. So you have a chance, and they have a chance to show you the difference and the diversity of the group. So that's good. We have some collab during the trip. Yeah.
You want to talk about this class?
Hera, do you remember what this was? I think
yes, I remember. We did a lot of research there from the, using our phones. So they said, we're cheating.
You mean, yes, you cheated. You cheated.
But
we're supposed to read the paragraph.
Really.
What a smooth way of saying we used a lot of our phone.
Phones, we got some information from our phones. That's not wrong.
That's not wrong. I agree. Except that the professor and this lady, so unfortunately we can't see her face, but I believe she's of Indian origin, but she lives in New York. She has worked a lot in the art, and she came and she did this very interactive workshop. I don't know if we have more pictures of her here, but yeah. Oh, what is this? Looks like people are waiting for food here.
The Turkish restaurant. Nesrin.
Yeah, this is my birthday party. Oh, yeah.
Whenever we went in the US, Nesrin found, some Turkish compatriot who would then treat us really well.
It wasn't me who made up the birthday. It was Nikita and Shilpa.
Nitika.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nitika and
It-
Shilpa.
Yeah.
But we did
This
get
was-
special treatment because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And because of Nazreen and her Turkish origin.
absolutely. Absolutely. This
Yeah.
was lovely. This was somewhere in the, like, we were literally on the streets of New York over here.
Yeah, so this was in the midst of pandemic. I think some of the restaurants were allowed to occupy the street and extend the restaurant. And it became so successful that the mayor basically allowed everybody, all the businesses, to make their temporary structure permanent. We're really on the road. This structure is made on the road. All right, where is that?
Manhattan. I
Yeah, I
it's in
think
Manhattan.
this was
By town.
the Empire Tower.
So this
Yeah.
is on the way to somewhere, and we travel in the bus. So one of the things we do is we just stop by. You'll see a few other things here where we just find out what's happening on the way, and we try to stop and take quick pictures. And then
Sure.
at one place, we also went to a farmer's market, which I think will come somewhere. This is a workshop. Let me just quickly, this is Nasreen's birthday being celebrated. I think I have a small video. Again, on the way, we also stopped at one of the university's campuses, hung out on the campus. This, I think, is Princeton campus. This is a slightly different format. This is Rutgers, a group of universities, I think, Study New Jersey Consortium came together. And instead of visiting all of them, I think there were 12 or 13 of them, we visited 2 campuses, and all the universities came at one place. This is what Anne was talking about. Conclave, they were all able to meet us together. York College was another very hands-on experience here. This is the inside where we were. Yeah, these 2 gentlemen were, this gentleman is a professor, and there was one more, I think, we can't see him in the picture, but they came and they spoke a lot about their program. They also made us do workshop on supply chain, and I'm forgetting which was the other one. The business school. Here, this is a farmer's market. So this was really cool. Our bus driver, I think somebody should talk about our bus driver, who was so wonderful and warm, and what a great introduction of her country for us also. She was from the area where we were visiting one of the colleges. York College was in the area where I think she lived, and her daughter also lived there. And she suggested that we should go and hang out at the farmer's market and check out. So she brought us here, and she introduced the community, the farmers market, Amish community. There's a very sort of a unique community in the US called Amish. They don't use technology. They're really, something very special about them. You should read about them. So this farmers market was organized by them. Most of the organic farmers were Amish community. This is right outside. All right. I think I'll stop here. I think somebody also should talk. What is this? What is happening? Why are everybody sitting on the ground?
Why don't you go ahead?
Hira, what is
Yeah.
happening in this picture? Why is everybody sitting on the floor?
Yeah, we're having a nice party at the end of a very tiring day. And I remember Chunjibi sir from Nepal and we had gone somewhere else because our students found out that we were there in that area. Was this in Baltimore? Right, I think it's Baltimore, yeah. And but then we rushed back, and so I joined this party, and it was really fun. Eating, and we also played some games. Yeah, so it was a very fun evening. I think is it Suchita's room or Said's room?
Yeah,
I
Side
think
room, I guess, side room.
I remember it was my room because I had to sleep with Chinese food smell.
yeah.
Which
It
was
has
not
to
bad.
be Syed's room.
Which
I
was
will
not
know
bad
that.
at all.
Yeah, one of the nice get-togethers we had. A little more relaxing than some other nights, where we just check into the hotel and go straight to sleep. Because the very next day again we have a college tours the whole of the day, and then we might sometimes eat on the way, or sometimes we might take away food, and then we travel in the bus all for many hours in the night, and then we check into the hotel. at 9, 10 o'clock, even 11 o'clock. But then I was quite surprised when I was first, going for this tour, like Anne said, and I was very lucky to be her room partner. Like Anne said, I just didn't know what to expect. And I was a bit apprehensive. I thought I'll be the youngest in the group. I was very happy to see someone younger than me, Nesreen. And the energy that she had, I think that was, really inspired all of us. And I thought I was just wondering whether I would have the stamina, but I'm quite happy that I actually had the stamina. I think it's because of the group dynamics, the group energy. So I think it was a wonderful experience for me. And the bonding was really good. And I think Syed and Suchita are very, very supportive. Every little hint that we drop, I think they'll, make it happen for us. So really appreciate that. And it's a wonderful, and I learned a lot, and I really wanted to really, go to campus tours and find out for myself, seeing is believing. And I took back a lot of ideas from all the campus tours. And as Anne has said, I'm very more confident now talking about these colleges to my students and the parents. So I think has been a very worthwhile trip and very, very fun as well. And like this one, I think this is a concert, and some of us could not resist. We just went over and we just danced away, and it was really, really fun. I think the singers are very good. They sang really well.
Yes, Hira, we really enjoyed it. Both of us. The youngest ones, the youngest
ones, yeah.
Yes.
The most energetic ones.
Yes, absolutely. The most energetic ones.
Yeah. But we're not in the picture.
You're probably dancing away somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think we're coming to an end of the slideshow here. These are some of the pictures again on the campus. This is on the bus. Bus conversations are very, as you can tell, they're very memorable. A lot of things happen in the bus. A lot of new things can happen in the bus. I think we'll try to do new stuff.
I'm trying to remember the bus driver's name. What was the name? Oh, bus driver.
Big Red is what she called herself.
No,
Yeah.
she has another name. Anybody remember
Danielle.
Danielle. Oh yeah, Danielle. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. She was.
Yes, she
Really
was
nice.
darling. She was really good.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about loving your work, and just what a manifestation of that. I'm sorry, I had to call Emmanuel. Sorry, I did not see you. You had raised your hand. I was sharing the screen. So please come on in.
Oh, thank you so much, Said. It's been wonderful. And Susita, congratulations to you all. You guys are doing amazing work. Just seeing the pictures, it speaks a lot for itself. And to me, they are not strange because I have watched them already on social media, especially when following SK posts on LinkedIn. I follow a lot of it. But I just have a little worry, and I want to find out that is this program open to every counselor, for example, like Asia, Africa, Latin America? Is it open to us all, or only to some particular group of people? That was my little worry I wanted to ask, because I have equally shared the link to our group, encourage our colleagues to apply it, and I applied myself, because when I saw it and I learned about Gosha and many other universities, honestly, is amazing. Our kids equally in Cameroon and Africa at large, they need to get to know all these opportunities about these schools that Collegey keeps bringing to us. And I can't stop saying thank you to Collegey, and I identify myself as Collegey. Thank you so much. That'll be all from my end.
Just to answer that question, Emmanuel, yes, it is open to every counselor. It is not limited.
Thank you.
Particularly from 2024 onwards, up until 23, we had still limited the geography, but starting 2024, we've opened it up to a larger part of the world.
Thank you so much, Osita, and it's a privilege to get to meet you one-on-one again. I've always read your posts and see you, but I've not had a chance to see you and talk with you. Thank you so much for the amazing job you do over there. Thank you.
And I have found a very brief video which I want to share of a small celebration that we did of Nasreen's birthday. Whether that was a real birthday or not, who cares? We had a wonderful birthday. I think, hey, I want to share that, and then we'll go back to the format. Ankur, you can moderate it and ask us specifically about what formats and how were they structured. But let me quickly share this video. Okay, can you see the video now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
one sec. Let me just... All right, that was a little the celebration we had, and you could see in that video, you could see how that restaurant was structured, right? And almost on the road it was. Anyway, we can go back.
That is beautiful. That was beautiful. That is beautiful.
I was
Fantastic.
ashamed because my birthday is in August.
Yeah.
So,
now we have
I'd like
established.
these ladies.
Shilpa and Nitika
Now you
want to
have
Yeah, and
celebrate it.
Shilpa. Oh, they're so mean.
Nasreen, now you have a summer birthday too.
I had my birthday 2 days ago.
Happy birthday, Nasreen.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
There we go.
birthday to
We need another
you.
video.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday. Happy birthday.
I want to see your
you.
face. Who are you?
Who is
Okay.
singing? This is our friend
Happy
Emmanuel.
birthday
Okay.
to you.
Oh, I loved
Happy
you.
birthday to you.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
a
so
question about
sweet.
how it is structured, Ankur. So now that the pictures, you've
Yeah.
seen some of the pictures, the structure broadly is that we usually start the day early. We do the breakfast at the hotel around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, depends, sometimes little 8, 10 o'clock. But really get up, do our breakfast, leave the hotel, go to the college campus. On the way, we usually on the first visit don't usually stop anywhere. We go to the college. At every college, we meet admissions people. We try to meet with students, career services, professors, and administrators. These are 5 or 6 communities that we request colleges to organize. And we leave it to the colleges to decide who they want to prioritize. A lot of time, universities just bring lots of their administrators. So like in one case, you saw the president of the college was there, dean was there, provost is there. Other colleges try to prioritize, the campus experience. So that other one you were seeing where we were eating, that culinary program engagement. And then at other times, I think it was Buffalo State again, where we went to the planetarium. So they really want us to experience a facility that they have, which is very unique to them. Like Buffalo State has this beautiful, wonderful planetarium. So we went inside and they ran the whole show for us. We saw all kinds of things. So meeting all of this, and then the other format is that of the conclave, where you meet variety of universities at one place. It's not a very long engagement, 90 minutes, 100 minutes, 1.5 hours, basically, where you meet 5, 6, 7 people at the same time. They present, and then you go individually and meet at their booth. Actually, I might be able to show. Oh, here it is. Actually, let me just quickly share this. So this is what a conclave looks like. Again, a very brief video here. Look at this is the conclave that we were looking the pictures of. This is how. So after those initial presentations, we came out and we started meeting them individually.
So we have a lot of students that come here from these.
Amazing.
But
So nothing out of like ordinary, very simple, but it's an opportunity to meet people in the group, lots of universities at the same time in a very short period of time, and then go and also talk to them individually. So that's one format. The other format is, just personal and socializing. We spend a lot of time with each other. We are in the bus, or sometimes we have a day off, or Sunday, or late in the evening, or sometimes universities take us somewhere. Like again, and when we were in New York, we went to Niagara Falls. That was just free day. We were just hanging out together. So really, this is all part of the design. There's a saying that the best designs are the ones that you do not notice. And that's really something. That line is so profound. If you spend time on this, you realize, wow, that's so much wisdom in that one line. And we spend a lot of time trying to do that. We try to do things that most people don't like. For example, I think Anne will now know this because I'm saying it, but when Anne, we knew that Anne hadn't come to US before. This was her first visit. And she was also coming from Vietnam, where we had another counselor, Wu. So when we were planning their arrival, we hooked them up together. We said, you guys should be together. And we made them take a train, take a bus, and reach a certain point, because we knew this is the first time. And I know we knew in the initial few hours of their arrival, they will have to find out the way to, what train to change, what bus to take, where to take the Uber. We wanted them to have this experience in the beginning. We could have made it much easier for them. We could have pre-booked a lot of things for them. We didn't. Part of the design. I think a lot of things that you heard from her later on was because the first few hours, she and one of her other colleagues from Vietnam, they traveled together and they did it themselves. So it does something to you when you do things. DIY has, it does something to you when you do it yourself. It gives you a little bit more confidence, and you figure things out towards the, when the program starts. So there are a lot of things that counselors don't know that we do, and it's part of the design. Some of them are hard things. Some of them are stressful things. And a lot of time people complain, and we know that. We already know that we'll hear complaints about this. But the purpose of those things is to achieve some other goals and objectives. As long as those goals and objectives are achieved, if we have to hear some negative feedback about the activity itself, if people felt stressed, that's fine. It's okay. We don't promise stress-free life during TGEP anyways. We have never said it that it's going to be stress-free. And then at other time, things are very straightforward. They're like very self-explanatory. This is what it is. This is what you're going to do.
And also, the time spent at the universities, it's not that simple. I mean, we are preparing and working with the universities months and almost a year in advance. There is a lot of work that goes into, everything working out the way that it does. And if some part of it is chaotic, it is chaotic by design. It's something we do even within our impact projects. And we believe that, through your life, as Anne just said, that learning is lifelong, and learning is indeed lifelong. Just because, you're a senior counselor doesn't mean that your learning is over. You'll notice that our groups consist of a variety of schools and different age groups, different understandings, different cultures. There is a reason that the group is designed that way. There is a reason that some days are way more hectic. There is a reason why certain days are designed to be way too hectic, because you need to be resilient. You are the counselor. You're the one who's preparing your student for a completely foreign land and foreign experience. So until you face that resilience yourself, you're not going to be able to impart it to your student, and importantly, to the parent.
Yeah.
So
that's
there
a
is
great
a
point.
lot of.
Yeah, Suchita, this is great. We should have mentioned this earlier upfront. When international students come to US, life is very difficult. The first few weeks, they have to handle so many different things, and each thing is pulling them in different directions. Education system is very different. A lot of kids who come from collective cultures like India have not done many things. They have, there are a lot of things that they have to do all by themselves. They have to go buy grocery. They have to arrange grocery. Some of them are perishable items, how much to buy, where to keep, and then engage with other people. And then, do your laundry. Where is the laundry? Then they have to go sign up for the classes. Then class system is very different. They can audit classes. In some cases, they have to go to the bursar's office and get those, there are certain different colored coded slips and you have to produce. So they are really dealing with lots of things. So in some ways, TGEP is also meant to mirror that kind of a life where you are in a new country and you're suddenly engaging with lots of things. You're not trying to just have fun. You're also trying to learn. You're also having serious conversation. You're having group conversation. You're socializing. You're making friends. If you zoom out and see TGEP, it really tries very hard to mirror the experience of a student who has just landed on a foreign land. Yeah, so that's why we have to pack lots of things together.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that elaborate answer on the structure of the program. I think it's very important. I'm also conscious of the time. We are already a bit above the time. So I'll quickly take some questions from the audience. If somebody has any questions that you want us to address. I think there was a question in the chat from Asta from DPS Matra Road, the counselor there. I don't know if Asta is still here, but she had mentioned a comment in the chat section. Sayed, if you can address that. Asta Mahajan, she said, totally understand.
Yes, totally understand. But to build that robust environment about sending student to USA, one needs to take experience before offering it to prospective students, even though the number of less maybe 1 or 2 who are very keen to carrying. But stuck between making a choice between US colleges or applying to the counselor, I would want to understand who should go there among my student applicant list.
I think she's talking about what she would learn by going on TGEP.
And I know Asta works at DPS Mathura Road. I met her last week.
Yeah.
So, who should go there amongst my student applicant list and why? Yeah, I mean, this is a long discussion. What kind of students will thrive in the US and what kind would thrive in Europe? This is such a big question. US is a very diversified country. All states are very different. But I can tell you that, I lived in the US. I've lived my entire life in India. Culturally, there are major differences. These two countries are on the cultural spectrum. One is very collective and is very individual. But US also is a very informal country. It's people who succeed here are people who are direct, open, who don't shy away from just taking chances. So if you have students who you think will, who are not shy of sharing their ideas and experiences, broadly speaking, this is a great country for them, and they will really enjoy their environment no matter where they are. Informality is a big part of it. We don't often recognize, if you have students who are very informal and they don't hold themselves back, they say things and they share things and they do things. US is a great option. But I think she had a more specific, question is, I would just want to know the number of students applying to US universities from a particular school institution really matters in shortlisting. And no, it does not matter. When we are looking at your application, we don't see how many of your school students go to certain college. Because most likely when we are looking at your application, we don't know which colleges you are going to be visiting. Those conversations are still happening parallelly. And even if we have some colleges who have already confirmed their partnership with TGEP, we don't look at how many students from your school are going to that college. And we don't prefer a school which sends more students than the one who's sending less students. That's not how we do it. Shortly, yeah, okay, I guess.
Syed, may I just say something? And in my school in Turkey, there were not a lot of students who were applying to US universities because the US universities are very expensive and we need a lot of scholarship. But when you tell them your experience, and when you tell them now in this group in this let's say I learned that state universities and liberal arts colleges are very generous in scholarships and financial aid. And when you tell them you can increase the number of students at your school applying to US. And I am seeing this. I talk to a lot of students now, and it is going to be a great number of students who are applying to US students from now on. It is your, it is a kind of, telling your experience to them.
Perfect.
That's true.
Thank you so much, Nasreen, for adding that. Any else? Any other question anybody has? So perfect. I think that was one really informative, interesting webinar. I think we have answered all of the major questions that were to be answered about TGEP. Now we will encourage more and more counselors to apply for this. If you feel you are the right fit, I think we have got all the direct answers that we were looking for. What is the TGP experience like? Who is the right fit for this program? What happens and how the TGP experience is a lifelong experience and not a 2-week experience. You become part of the TGEP family or Collegey family, and it's more like a very, very close bond that everybody shares. And that is also clear by the pictures that Syed shared. I mean, the very, very pictures that speak high on emotions. They are high on friendship, camaraderie, collaboration. I mean, all those words that are used very lightly reflected on those pictures in real. So thank you so much for everyone for joining in. Thank you so much, Shraddha and Nasreen, for being a part of the panel. Shilpa, thank you so much also. I know it's late in Japan, but taking time out for us and being here was good. Thank you, Syed and Collegey, Suchita, for being here with us and sharing the details of the program, the way it started and the way you are seeing it grow. And thank you to all the members who made time to be a part of this session today. I think we'll leave with the video. Syed has already put it up. Thank you so much and have a good night, everyone, and a good day wherever you may be. Thank you.
We'll let the video play. Thank you, Ankur, and people who are getting late, please feel free to leave the meeting. And those who are able to hang out, please hang out. And we'll also, especially the TGP folk, is a good way to rekindle some of our old memories here. So this is, again, a very popular video.
Look at the ambiance. Amazing. So this is the bridge that connects New Jersey to New York. That there are many of them. Yeah.